Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn. In this session we are going to create bus passenger counter with the help of YOLO V8. But before we move to our practical friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much and let's get started. So friends, as I mentioned, today we are going to use YOLO V8 pre-trained object detection model, and we are going to create a counter for bus passenger. So let's get started. So for that, first simply open TonyPython IDE, go to the tools, manage packages, search for OpenCV-Python, OpenCV-Python, enter first package, click on install, it will install OpenCV-Python. Then we need Ultralytics package for YOLO V8, just first package, click on install, that's it, it will install Ultralytics. Then we need CVZone package, CVZone, hit enter, first package, click on install, and it will install CVZone on our Windows machine. That's it, we have done with package installation. So now for today's session I have created a repository bus passengers counter. I will mention the link inside description box, copy paste the link inside the browser, then go to the code, click on download zip, and it will download our zip format repository. Then simply open file manager, downloads, this is what repository, right click, WinRAR, extract with the folder, then go to inside the folder, again same folder, and we have here our file, the video file coco.txt, our main.py. Inside that main.py I have mentioned the basic code, means it will detect our object. Then we have our tracker. So friends, first let's just watch our scenario. So as you can see, this is what our scenario, we have here bus which basically stop at the bus stop, and then the door is open, and of course the passenger is basically entering inside the bus. So our goal is to create a counter for bus passenger. So this is what our scenario, as you can see, bus stop, automatic door open, and passenger is basically entering inside the bus. So here we want to create a counter. So for that, as I mentioned, I have created a basic code, and inside that we have YOLO V8 object detection model, YOLO V8 s.pt. If you don't know how to use YOLO V8 with Python and OpenCV, I have created a video. I will mention video link, or you can watch my playlist. You will get the idea how to use YOLO V8 with OpenCV and Python. Simple. So this is what the basic code. We have here video file name, then we are going to read our coco.txt file. Inside that coco.txt file we have all the classes, as you can see, person, bicycle, all the classes. So we are going to read that file. Then we have basic code, we are going to read our video file, then resize the frame, and then this is what our object detection, as you can see, the rectangle x1, y1, x2, y2, then d is basically the id of the object. Then we are going to use our coco.txt. So we are going to match the id with coco.txt names, the class names. So c is equal to class list, and of course this become our d, because d is basically our class id. So this is how we are going to read our class files coco.txt with the help of our class id d. Then we only want to detect here a person, so we want to simply create a condition if the person in C is basically our class list. So if the person in C, we are going to draw the rectangle, means we have object detection, and then we are going to simply put the text, means we are going to put the text as a person, the class name on our object rectangle top left corner. So this is the basic code. So let's just start our code. Let me close the untitled file. So first it will download our pre-trained object detection model, which is YOLO V8 s.pt, which we mention over here. As you can see, we are going to use here YOLO V8 s.pt. So first it will download our pre-trained model, then we have object detection. Then we are going to simply call our tracker. So then we are going to track our object. So, and as you can see friends, as I mentioned, we have now object detection with the help of YOLO V8. As you can see, it's detecting the person. Simple. As you can see, the person, there is a rectangle, there is a class name on rectangle top left corner. So we successfully detect our object with the help of YOLO V8. Now simply we want to use our tracker. So our tracker, as I mentioned in several previous videos, if we want to use our tracker, we want to send our rectangle coordinates on our tracker. So for that, simple, here we are going to create, if their person, simply we want to create a list dot append, and inside that we want to pass x1, then the y1, then x2 and y2. So we have now list. As you can see, I have created here a list. So we are successfully appending our x1, y1, x2, y2 inside this list. Now simply we are going to call our tracker. So here it is. As you can see, I have mentioned the tracker. Tracker is equal to tracker. So if I open the tracker.py, so here it is. As you can see, we have tracker class. T is basically capital. So simply tracker is just a variable. We are going to call our tracker. So here I have mentioned from tracker import all, means from tracker file, the file name is basically tracker.py. So from tracker, the file name, from tracker we are going to import all the things, and then here tracker is just a variable. Tracker is equal to our, from tracker.py file we have our tracker class. So we want to call our tracker class. Then how we can send our coordinates? Simply we have for that update function. So we want to simply say tracker.update, and inside that we want to pass our list which we have with our rectangle object coordinates. Simple. So we create a list. Now we want to call our tracker. So after where we have our list, so simply we want to start from the for loop. So check it is in line. So here b box like this way, b box idx, it is just a variable. So b box idx is equal to our tracker variable, and as I mentioned, inside tracker.py we have update function. So tracker dot update, and we want to pass our list. That's it. Now we have b box idx. So inside b box idx, if we print here b box idx, and let's just comment a rectangle and CV zone put text method. So now we are going to print a b box idx, which is basically our tracker result. So tracker result. So if I start the code, so friends, as you can see, we detecting our object. Simple. So inside shell, as you can see, we have the ID and the rectangle coordinates. Let me stop the code. Here it is. As you can see, this 3 is basically the unique ID for each person, and this is what our rectangle coordinates. For each person, when we detect the object, we send our object coordinates inside our tracker, and tracker again track the object. So it will again give us the coordinate, the rectangle coordinates, and then it will assign the ID for each object. So 3 is basically the ID, and these all 4 coordinates is basically rectangle coordinates with the help of tracker. So now simply we are going to create our for loop. So let's just create a for loop for, let's say, for ID and rect, for ID rect in b box idx, for ID rect for rectangle coordinates, for ID rect in b box idx dot items like this. For ID rect in b box idx dot items. So if we print ID and rect, save the code, run the code. And as you can see, Now we successfully go through the loop 4 3 1. We have now each detection, their rectangle coordinates and their ID. Means each person we have rectangle coordinates and we have the ID. Now simply we are going to mention like this way. So here we mention x1, y1, x2, y2 with the help of our object detection. Now we are going to use our tracker. So again we have new coordinates. So simply we want to create a new rectangle variable. So x3, y3, x4 and y4 is equal to our rect, and then ID which we are going to simply call when we want to call. So let's just say here, now we can use our cv2.rectangle method, and here we want to change our rectangle coordinates. So x1 will become x3 because now we are going to use our tracker rectangle coordinates. So x3, y3, then x4 and y4, and then simply we want to put our ID on each rectangle top left corner. So cvzone dot put text rect frame, and here we want to simply change our C with our ID variable. Here it is, as you can see, ID, and it will put our rectangle on x3 and y3. So here also we want to change x1 y1 with x3 and y3. Simple. So now let me freeze the frame, save the code, run the code. So friends, now as you can see, we basically tracking our object. So here we have person is basically our object, and on rectangle top left corner, this is what the ID. This is what ID, as you can see, for this person we have 3 is the ID, for this person we have 17 is the ID, for this person we have 18, and for this person we have 25. So we successfully create object detection, we successfully track our object, we successfully assign ID for each passenger. That's it. Now our goal is to create a counter. So for creating a counter, we don't want to detect our object all our area, means all other area we can say. Simply we can say just detect the object or just track the object in particular area. We can say we are going to mention here a region of interest area. So let me start again a code, then you will get the idea. Here I have already mentioned the region of interest area. So let me explain how I have mentioned the region of interest area. Let's just watch frame. So I am skipping a frame one by one. So let's just watch this person rectangle. This is the rectangle. Okay. So this is the rectangle and this is the ID for this person. So just watch the movement. So the rectangle is now here, as you can see. So we are going to use here this rectangle bottom corner. This is the top left corner, this is the bottom left corner. So if you watch the action, as you can see, this rectangle bottom left corner, just watch over here. He is basically come in this area. In this area, this person which we are tracking, which we are assigning the ID. So this rectangle bottom corner, bottom left corner, as you can see, bottom left corner is coming in this area. As you can see, it's coming in this area. So for this person, the bottom rectangle bottom corner, bottom left corner coming in this area. Watch for next person. This person also, as you can see, the bottom left corner is also coming in same area. Here it is, as you can see. So let's just watch for the next person. Just watch the corner, this corner, bottom left corner. This is the top left corner. So this is the rectangle bottom left corner. So watch this corner, as you can see, for this person also, here it is, as you can see, it's coming in this area. And the last one, as you can see, this person also, the bottom left corner coming in same area. So we can simply say this is what our region of interest area. If the person, if the passenger bottom left corner, if it is inside this area, then only we are going to detect object, then only we are going to track object, then only we are going to assign the ID. So for that I have simply used a mouse function. As you can see, inside shell we have mouse coordinates, and here we mention our mouse function. This is what our mouse function. So with the help of mouse function we will get simply the coordinates for this area, So as you can see, I have mentioned already the area. So this is the coordinates for this area, So if we want to show our area, so let's just show our area. cv2.poly lines, and we want to draw our polyline on the frame. Then we want to mention np.array, then we want to mention our area. So our area variable is basically area1, so mention as it is area1. Then np.int32, that's it. Then we want to mention true. Then a color, so let's just say white color, 255, and thickness let's just make 2. So now with the help of cv2.polylines we can simply draw our area in polylines. So as you can see friends, the white, here it is, as you can see, this is the white polyline. So it means this is what our area, or we can simply change the color. So let's just say just create a blue color. Okay, so now it will create a blue color polyline on our region of interest area. So as you can see, this is what our area in blue color. So now if I skip the frame, let's just now what we are going to do, we want to highlight our rectangle bottom left corner. This is the top left corner, this is the bottom left corner. So we want to highlight this area. So simply we can say here cx is equal to x3, cy is equal to y4. This is what our rectangle bottom left corner, the x3 and y4. So now simply cv2.circle, and we want to draw our circle on the frame. Then mention the cx and cy, then cx and cy, and then the radius. So let's just say radius 6, and then color 0255 0, let's make green. And because we want to fill our circle, so let's make white, let's make -1. So -1 is basically for drawing the circle fill way. It will fill our circle with green color. So now, so friends, as you can see, there is a green color circle of rectangle bottom left corner. So this is what our area. So watch now, this is not our area, this is what our point. When this point is basically inside our area, then only we are going to say that I just want to detect my object, I just want to assign the ID and other things. So let's just watch this particular point, the rectangle bottom left corner. Just watch. So the person is entering, here it is, as you can see. Watch. As you can see, now this area, this green circle is now inside our area, as you can see, inside our area. So in this time we are going to detect our object for this. So now for this person, as you can see also, the green color circle is now inside our area. For this passenger also, just watch, it's coming inside, entering in the bus. Now as you can see, inside the area, watch for this person inside our area. So simply we detect our area. Now simply we want to create our CV2 point polygon test method. So result is just a variable result. Result is equal to CV2 dot point p capital polygon t capital point polygon t capital test CV2 dot point polygon test, and we want to mention what we want to mention. We want to mention our area. So our area is basically this np dot array. So just copy as it is, mention over here, and then what is our goal? Our goal is to when the rectangle, the object rectangle bottom left corner inside our area. So we mention our area, and our bottom left corner is basically our CXCY, which we highlight. So this is what our center point. So center point in the sense, this is what our point. The point means the rectangle bottom left corner. So let's just mention in tuple CX and CY, CX and CY, and then false. Now if we print here our result, save code, run code. Let's just keep our frame one by one. The bus stop, door open, person entering inside our area. So right now, as you can see inside shell, if I skip the frame, inside shell we have -1, -1, -1. So means the action is now what? The person bottom left corner is not inside our area, and in that time we have -1, -1. So when the person bottom left corner, which we highlight with the help of green color circle, if it is inside our area, and as you can see we have 1, we have 1. So simply we can say here, this is what our result. If the result if it is greater than is equal to 0, because we have -1 and we have 1. So if the result, if it is greater than is equal to 0, then only we are going to draw the circle, then only we are going to draw the rectangle, then only we are going to put our ID as a text on our object. So now if the person inside our area, then only we have detection. As you can see, now there is no rectangle, no object detection, no tracking, because the person bottom left circle, which we highlight with the help of green color, it's not inside our area, which we mentioned. This is what our area. But when, as you can see, now we have a rectangle, we have highlighted circle, we have ID. Then when the person cross our area, again there is no detection, nothing. For this person also, as you can see, the person bottom left corner inside our area, then we have detection. But when the person cross our area, then there is nothing. As you can see, for this person also, for this person also. Simple. So now simply we have our ID when we are detecting. So if we want to create our counter, simply we want to create list of our ID, and the length of list is basically our counter. Simple. So here we have our condition. Let's just create our counter. So I have mentioned here counter, as you can see the counter. Then simply we are going to call our counter. So counter dot append, and we want to, what we want to append? We want to append our ID. That's it. So now if we print here our counter, just print our counter list, save the code, run the code. So no detection, as you can see, no detection, there is no ID, our list is empty. I am skipping the frame one by one. when we detect our person inside our area, as you can see, we have the ID. So for this person we have 3 ID, as you can see, but the problem is what? The person inside our area, in that time it's counting the same ID again and again. As you can see, that's why we have 3 3 3, because the person bottom left corner still inside our area, and meanwhile we are counting the same ID again and again. For that we want to simply mention here, if our counter.count function, counter.count, what we are going to count? We are going to count our ID is equal to 0, means please don't count the same ID again and again. Now we have only one ID at a time, because we mentioned the condition, please don't count same ID again and again. So let's just start our while loop. Okay, so we have started our while loop. Bus stop, door open, people entering inside the bus. When inside our area we have detection, as you can see, 3 is the ID, 17 ID, means we counted 2 person. So this person 3 4, as you can see we have 4 ID, means we count a 4 person. So as I mentioned, simply the length of our counter is basically our counter, length of our counter list is basically our counter. P is just a variable, P is equal to our length of counter, and simply we want to mention here CVZone put text method. So just copy it from here, and we are going to change some coordinates. So I have pasted the CVZone put text rect method. Here we want to mention a counter as a text, and then inside that we want to mention our P variable, because P is our counter. And then here we want to mention the coordinates. So let's say 50 and 60, and the size of our rectangle, because we are going to draw a rectangle, and inside that we are going to put our counter. So 2 and 2, this is the size for the rectangle and the text. So that's it. Now simply we have a counter on our rectangle. So as you can see, right now counter is 0, but when the person enter inside the bus area, we have 1 counter. Again, this person inside our area, second person, 2 count, 3 count, and 4 count. So we successfully count 4 passenger. So this is how, friends, you can create a smart passenger counter for bus with the help of YOLO V8 pre-trained object detection model. I hope you will learn something from this video. We will meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.